the main thing that was so helpful for the program, and outside of course, the amazing cohort that I went through the program with, was realizing that there was nothing wrong with me.
Welcome to the Unconditionally Worthy Podcast. I'm your host, Dr. Adia Gooden, a licensed clinical psychologist who believes deeply that you are worthy unconditionally. Hello, and welcome to another episode of the Unconditionally Worthy Podcast. As always, I am so excited that you are listening, that you're here listening. And we're going to do something a little different today. I'm actually going to do something with this episode that I have never done before with an episode. So my hope is that you will like it. Today, we are talking about how claiming your worth creates shifts in your life. And you all have heard me talk again and again and again about the power of embracing your unconditional self-worth, about how that really opens things up powerfully in your life in terms of work, in terms of relationships, in terms of family, in terms of abundance, and all sorts of levels. And if you've been around for a while, you have also heard me talk a good amount about my Unconditionally Worthy group coaching program, which is my signature program. It is the opportunity to work with me in a small group where I can guide you step by step in your self-worth journey so that you can truly integrate and practice a lot of the steps and the teachings that we talk about in the podcast so that you can make those shifts real in your life. So I've talked about a lot of those things, a lot, or maybe all of those things a lot on the podcast. And the truth is that I'm biased, right? Like, let's just be honest about it. I am biased because I'm creating these things and I believe in them, and I wouldn't be putting something out into the world if I didn't believe in it. And I know that sometimes we want to not just hear from the person who created whatever they created. We also want to hear from people who have experienced it, people who have signed up and enrolled and gone through it. So today, that's exactly who you are going to hear from. I am going to be sharing some recordings of what my former group coaching program members have said about the Unconditionally Worthy group coaching program and about the shifts that have occurred in their life through claiming and embracing their unconditional self-worth. So let's dive right into it. The first person that we are going to hear from today is Felicia. Felicia works in the corporate world and came to the program really sort of already on a personal growth journey, but wanted to go even deeper and really figure out what would help her to feel truly worthy and content, because even though she had accomplished a lot in her life, that was no longer making her feel good enough or making her feel worthy. And so she wanted to dig deeper. So let's hear from Felicia about what she has to say about what led her into the program and what she got out of the program.
So I'm really excited to have Felicia, one of my former group coaching members, here with me to share about her experience in the program. So welcome, Felicia. Will you just start by telling everyone a little bit about who you are?
Sure, and thanks for having me. So I'm Felicia. I am in my early 40s, based in New York, and I've been a typical type A driven person that just was always motivated by achievements and accomplishments, and always searching for that gold star, which kind of is what drew me to the program, because those things were no longer fulfilling me. And I didn't know that it was a self-worth challenge until I started digging into the program. And it's actually probably the first module. It's like, oh wow, you're really calling me to the carpet, and I need this. This is awesome.
Well, I'm so glad it resonated. And I'd love for you to share just maybe a little bit. So you're kind of describing yourself as like type A, like high achiever. What were some of the challenges that sort of drew you to this program?
I think it was more just the deep sense of, or a big void. Like I had all of these things, but I didn't feel complete, or something still was missing, or just like nagging a little bit. And then candidly, those things, all of the accolades and the accomplishments, that wasn't what I wanted anymore. Like, it wasn't chasing those things, weren't, it just wasn't a thing anymore for me. It just didn't work. I really needed to
Mm,
get clear about who I am and what I want out of my life, or for my life.
yeah. Yeah. I think probably so many people watching could resonate with that. Will you share what you found helpful or most helpful about the program?
Sure. So I think the first part, outside of, just the first module, was like, oh my gosh, this is so me. But the main thing that was so helpful for the program, and outside of course, the amazing cohort that I went through the program with, was realizing that there was nothing wrong with me. I always thought, and felt, and I let noisy things from outside tell me that there was something wrong with me and how I was, and all that kind of thing. And going through the program, I realized that no, there's nothing wrong with me. I'm fine exactly how I am, and learning how to navigate these, my specific set of challenges, and with grace, and being
Mm,
kind to myself. Because when I take care of myself and pour into myself, I am then able to give and do more for others. And that's if I want to, because that was the other thing I got from the program too, is that I was empowered to push back and or ask questions around things. I didn't just do things because I should, or I was supposed to, or this is what other people wanted to keep the peace, and all that kind of jazz.
yeah, I love that. I love your sort of language for there's nothing wrong with me, right? Like who I am is good, is worthy, is okay. And I think a lot of what seems like it came through is like you have so many strengths and gifts, and you're, moving through life with a lot of intentionality these days. And so it was wonderful to kind of see that shine through in the program. Will you talk a bit about how you feel the program has benefited or shifted things in your life, like where you're at now?
Yeah. So the program has encouraged me to put myself first, and to actually think about what I wanted. That was another thing that came up for me. A lot of the times with the prompts in the modules, like, I don't know, because I never stopped to think about it. No one's ever asked me what I thought or what I felt about these particular scenarios. Um, and that's been fun. Just discovering myself, because it's like, I originally started this program, or with the thought or the attention to get back to myself. And the reality is there was nothing to get back to, because I
Mm,
never explored it. I don't know. So now it's just
mm.
getting curious about, well, what do I like? What do I want? How does this feel? Um, and that's been incredibly helpful. And I'm excited for this new adventure to get to know myself.
I love that because if we're going to meet our needs and create our desires and have the life we want, we first have to know what we want. And so I'm so glad that you got the tools to get curious and figure that out for yourself. So then you can feel empowered to go and create that and pursue that and create what you want your life to look like, especially since you started from a place of like, I did all of this, I did all of the achieving, but something's missing. And that doesn't call to me anymore. It doesn't light me up anymore. And so now it's like, okay, figuring out what is it that you want to build for yourself and owning that your desires are worthy and that you can pursue them.
Yeah, like, it's finishing the program, it actually lit those things back up in me. And I'm doing
Mm.
them for different reasons now. So I'm
Mm.
exploring an exec ed program
Mm.
that should start in a couple of weeks. And I'm doing it because I want to learn, and because it will be beneficial in my career. But it's not a thing of me still chasing and wanting to do more. I've been attracting more than pursuing, which is
Mm.
exciting. Um, Now, one of the benefits, or things that I'm working through now, is my discernment. If something is not aligned with me, I know it right away. It kind of feels like, an itchy sweater.
Mm.
I just know like this isn't for me. I don't like it. I don't want it. Now, I definitely need to work on the response to it right now because it's so fresh and new. It's a little feral. It reminds me of like a cat. Get up in my
Mm.
back and I'm hissing about things like, no, I don't want this. So I'm hoping to get to a more regulated response to the things that are out of alignment. But I'm still loving that I know. I know now,
Hmm.
and I have those responses.
Yeah, it feels like it speaks to sort of that in the last module we go through like your internal wisdom and how do you tune into your intuition and start listening to it and just even that knowing. And yes, it is sometimes hard to say, okay, I'm going to listen to it and do the hard thing and make the hard choice or leave the space or the thing that, I know my body is telling me is not right. And that's the second step. But even that awareness is so powerful. And I also love what you said about like what you're pursuing, because sometimes what we're doing on the outside doesn't look that different, but we know that how we feel about pursuing it is very different, right? And so that
Hmm.
feels like it's what you're describing. It's like why you're pursuing the exec ed program or leadership roles, and it's not to prove yourself. It's because you have a desire to do this type of work or to stretch yourself or to lead in this type of way. And when we're going and we're moving from that inside out place, it feels very different.
Hmm. Perfect way
Yeah.
to describe it.
Well, thank you so much. It was a joy to have you in the Unconditionally Worthy Group Coaching Program, and I so appreciate you taking the time to share your experience.
Well, thank you for creating it. It was so beneficial for me to examine myself, to spend time with you, and I got so much from the group of ladies that I worked with that it just was an amazing time. So thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, so next up, we are going to hear from Larissa. Larissa is a teacher who came into the program because life was feeling hectic and frustrating and sort of out of alignment. And she really wanted to understand what her career path was going to be. She knew that she had big things to give to the world and to offer to the world, but she wasn't clear on how to get there, how to create a career that was in alignment with her gifts and to work somewhere where she was appreciated and affirmed. And, I'll let you hear it from her, but this program really helped her to find and create what she was looking for, which is just music to my ears. So listen in to hear what Larissa has to say about her experience.
So I'm super excited to be here with Larissa today, who's going to be sharing about her experience in the Unconditionally Worthy Group Coaching Program. Larissa, will you just introduce yourself briefly?
Yeah, of course. I'm Larissa. Um, I don't know what else to share. Maybe I am a middle school educator. I teach students with exceptionalities,
Hmm.
and yeah, that's me. I live in Atlanta, Georgia.
Awesome.
Yeah, that's it.
That's great. So, will you start by sharing just a little bit about some of the challenges that you were experiencing before joining the program and kind of what prompted you to join?
Yeah, absolutely. I felt like life was extremely hectic and
Mm,
frustrating because I'm very passionate about my work. And at the time, I was working at a place where I felt was sort of misaligned to some of my values, as well as like my personal mission in the field. And so that caused a lot of frustration for myself, just knowing that like kids needed so much, and
mm,
it didn't feel like I could really in that space give them what they needed. So I
mm,
felt very frustrated. So work, that was work, and then I feel like in my personal life, it probably spilled over from work too, as I was reminded in the program. But always putting others' needs ahead of mine was another challenge. So I think that sort of contributed to, I would say, like some wobbly boundaries, especially
mm.
in my romantic life and things like that. So those were some of the challenges that I was facing prior to the group. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you for being willing to share that. I think it
Of course.
resonates with a lot of people. What did you sort of find most helpful about the group?
Yeah.
the program?
Sure. So, I think first of all, you're amazing. And I think like your wealth of knowledge is apparent. Your approach is just so, it was exactly what I needed, we needed, because it was soft, but also
Mm,
strong.
mm,
Um, and the format was really great too. I've never been in like a group for, therapy or this type of support. I've only had like individual therapy, which has always been very fruitful. And so I kind of felt a little bit worried going in about what it would be like, and like airtime, like, we know that some people can talk too much or not enough and that kind of thing. But actually the format was really wonderful. It was with a beautiful group of women who really were so they just could be themselves, and it allowed me to be myself too. They were extremely wise and compassionate. So I think part of that beauty was being able to learn from everyone and feeling comfortable enough to share and support others as they share and supported with me. So that was really helpful. And then in addition to that, there's some really wonderful coursework that I know you put together, Dr. Adia, that I feel was just so good because it really hit all of the key points on the things that I was struggling with, and it sort of like builds, and it's all like connected really well. I love that it was like easy access to the program, and that I could also move at my own pace. So I didn't feel rushed to like get this done by this time, which is like life, right? Like in every other arena of my life, I felt like there's a deadline, I got to get it done. But that's not what this was. It was like,
mhm,
okay, when you're done with that, unit, I forget the module, move it to the
mhm.
next one. And if you want to go back, you can go back. And even now, knowing that I can go back when I need like a refresher and something, I thought was really, really helpful as well.
Thank you so much for sharing that. I think it highlights the sort of my intention for the whole experience in the program to
Yeah.
be really nourishing and supportive, whether that's from like how you engage in the modules and the lessons, like not having that be another sort of achievement,
Yeah,
intense thing, right, that we put
absolutely.
on ourselves, to like the group space that feels really supportive, and it's like everybody just shows up and
Mm,
shares, and that you're poured into, and you share, and it's just like this mutual supportive space. And so the intention is for the whole experience, not just the content, and I put a lot of thought into the content, but also the experience of going through the program, for that to be really healing and uplifting as well. And so it's really great to hear that that's how it impacted you.
absolutely. Thank you.
Yeah. What are some of the things that have sort of shifted in your life, or some of the ways that the program has benefited you most?
Yeah, I think, like I said, going in, the two sort of areas were my romantic life and then my work life. And so I think just even the perspective alone has shifted, and that has taken a lot of weight off of my shoulders. I think I put a lot of pressure on myself to show up a certain way. And for my job, I felt like time was extremely, I mean, it still is extremely important, but just understanding like what I can do now, like what is within my locus of control, what can I do now? And it sort of gave me a new perspective uh, on the type of job I wanted to go for. And
Mm.
and I did just that. So what was beautiful, what was beautiful about the whole thing is, going for a job that I was really excited about. And the reason why I was excited about it is how aligned it was with the things that I really wanted in a school, and the type of role that I wanted to have at a school. I also felt as though this particular job, if I could create a school, this is what I would have created, like that's
Mm.
how aligned it is. Um, I feel valued already, and I haven't even started
Mm.
yet, like I'm heard there. Um, yeah, just I'm very excited about it. I think even in getting the position, getting the role, it was like I didn't stop there. Like it wasn't enough. I knew like, listen, I have a great experience and I know what I bring to the table. So, you know, I had I had to ask for a higher salary. And so that actually was something I had never done before, but I know the program and like you all really helped me like believe that I can just go for it. And if for, you know, for whatever reason I wasn't able to get what I was looking for, then perhaps I wasn't really valued in that space. And so it was okay for me to just find something else. But the good news is, you know, some really other great opportunities came out of the ask, you know, which was so hard for me. But, you know, I'm able to do some other things. I have some other roles at the school that I'm very excited about. Again, also aligned with where I want to go in my career. So I think that has like opened up a whole new like world for me and lots of opportunity in the future. So honestly, can't wait. Next year, this time, I'm pretty sure I'll be doing something else. But that's very, very exciting. And then I think also for my personal life, just creating more solid boundaries, being crystal clear about things, being very like possessive with my time and my space. And not like not half stepping. Like if I say something, unless I have changed my mind, which is also okay, like really sticking to it and not worrying so much about like the impact on the other person. Like if it isn't good for me, then it isn't good for me, whether it's family, romantic partner, whatever, but really being very confident in that and not being apologetic about like how someone else could be impacted, right? And so like because I have a good or like a kind spirit, it's very easy for me to think like, you know, maybe I'm not thinking about this person enough, or, you know, like that kind of like you kind of have this mind sort of trick, but knowing that I still want what's best for others, but recognizing what I deserve and recognizing what I need, just listening to that more and just going for it. And what has been amazing is how responsive people have been, you know, like in the most positive way. So overall, just such a beautiful experience with everyone. And I know there's so much more growing to do, but this is like just the beginning of you know, I think more beauty and more happiness and for things to be even more transformative as I continue to use the skills that I've learned and continue to practice. So
Oh, thank you for sharing that. I love it. It's like my tears are coming to my eyes just because, so before Larissa joined the program, we had a conversation and she was talking about wanting to transition in her career, but not being quite sure what that would look like, how it would happen. So for you to get to this point where you're like, I'm transitioning to a school that feels so aligned and the opportunities are opening up and it's exciting, like that just makes my heart sing. And I think especially because you're so mission driven, it's like the impact that you will have on the world, on education, on young people. It just is like, I'm so grateful for that work and you feeling like you're supported in doing the work you want to do. And then also just hearing about the boundaries you're setting in relationships, and then also how you're letting people step up and show their care and their love for you. It's so beautiful. So I'm really honored that I had the opportunity to lead and support you on this leg of the journey. And I'm so glad that it has had such a positive impact on you and your life.
thank you so much. I am so excited about what's next and just, forever full of gratitude for the opportunity to be a part of this group. I mean, it has really been beautiful. And we still have the connections. We still talk,
Yes.
the group members and all that good stuff. So the support continues, which is also really, really amazing.
Yes. Thank you so much, Larissa.
Thank you so much, Dr. Dia.
And lastly, I want you to hear from Toni. Toni describes herself as a personal growth junkie, and she shares why she chose to participate in the Unconditionally Worthy group coaching program. Often she was doing conferences or workshops, and this was one of the first times that she invested in a longer program. And so she talks about how it benefited her, how it helped to start shifting things for her, and why she thinks it's one of the best investments she's made in herself.
So I have Toni, one of my winter 2023 group coaching program members, here with me to share about her experience in the program. So Toni, would you take a moment to just briefly introduce yourself?
Well, my name's Toni. I would say that I am a professional workshop junkie. And yeah, that's me in a nutshell.
Thanks. So I'd love to just ask you to start by sharing, as much as you're willing, about kind of what was one or some of the bigger challenges that you were experiencing in your life before you joined the Unconditionally Worthy group coaching program.
I would say probably my biggest challenge was not living my knowing. And I think I've gained a lot of tools, but I don't, like after a program I would do would be over, I would just digress back to how I was prior to, even though in the moment it felt really good. And so I think being able to hold on to the learning it's probably been my biggest challenge. And also truly valuing myself, really knowing that I'm worthy. It's been an external thing. And I think with the program, it made it an internal thing. And when it's internal, I'm the one in charge, not what society dictates.
Yeah, thank you for sharing that. I think a lot of the sort of like high achieving professional women who are interested in the program or do the program, like you're very smart, right? So you sort of intellectually know a lot of things, and it's the actual doing of it and internalizing of it and practicing it that's the challenge that this program helps with. So I'm so glad that that helped you. Will you highlight some of the things that you found most helpful about the program?
I think the fact that we have access to the modules and you can go back to it or re-listen to it, because I'm the type of person who sometimes needs to hear it over and over, and I get different pieces each time I hear it. I think that was really powerful. And just also the camaraderie you create within the group, and how, at least for my group, we were all pretty much different, but there was a commonality that came out from everyone's share. And someone may have shared something that I wasn't even thinking about, but yet it would resonate with me. And the way you ask the questions and you frame it in a way that it's not just that person, but it engages all of us. So one person speaking, but we all benefit. That was huge.
Thank you so much. I so appreciate you highlighting the group, because so often people are most hesitant about the group aspect, right? They're scared of it. And I always like to say there is magic that happens in the group, right? There is wisdom that is shared. There's connection, there's shared experience, there's being seen by a group of people. And I'm so glad that that was really impactful, as well as the fact that you get lifetime access to the course, and there's not you just have to rush through it as quickly as possible. It can never go back, but that this is an ongoing resource that you can use kind of like forever. That's awesome. So I think my last question for you is for you to just share, what are the biggest ways that doing this program has benefited your life or helped you make shifts that are positive in your life?
I would think it's made me more conscious. And while I'm not where I want to be, I'm not where I used to be. And even if I'm doing something I deem like, oh, this isn't for my best, I have more of an awareness and I'm making subtle changes. And I realized, to me, with this program, 3 months sounds like a long time, but it's really a beginning. And it's really, for me, it's a process, and it's not a one and done. And I think with my other things, it was a one and done. And this is a process. And again, being able to go back to the modules and even listening to the meditations, that helps me. And as a sidebar, you have a very soothing voice. So when I listen to your meditations, it's almost like, oh, there's something very soothing about it. and how you can do it anywhere. That makes it good. So it's portable. And I think just the 4 components of self-compassion you have spoken about, and working with each one and just knowing I am worthy. And I think it's almost, I'm not a big group person, but the way you facilitated the group, and I was looking for a piece of paper because you said something about you don't have to speak, but you're going to invite everyone in, or something about being inviting. And it was so true. So it's each week you didn't have to share, but each week I gained something, whether I was speaking or not.
It's so wonderful to hear. And I think what you're saying is my hope, right? Like, is that you will have tools and practices for your life journey, for this self-worth journey, and that through the process of going through this program, you will learn to show up for and with yourself and to life in a different way, in a way that feels better. And so it's not, it's not a silver bullet that's just like magical, that all the work you've done is like you just are done with the work, but it's knowing how to do the work, having the tools to do the work, being supported in the work of making shifts. And that awareness, right, is a huge piece of, like, if you're going to make changes to your behavior, you first have to be aware of the challenge. And so I'm so glad to hear that you feel like this has been really a great resource, like not only a supportive and encouraging space, but also a resource that has supported you over the 3 months that you were in the program, and is also giving you the tools and the things that you need to continue to grow and evolve and show up to life with whatever that brings.
And one more thing I would like to add about the group dynamic, a lot of times I feel like, oh, it's just me. Oh, what's wrong with me? And then when other people share, it's like, you too? And it normalizes. And it's like, oh, wait, I'm not that special. Someone else has that feeling too. And it just normalizes my behavior, where before I would hold on to it and kind of criticize and be self-deprecating. And when it's normalized, it's like, oh, that's kind of that's part of being human. Others struggle with whatever.
Yes.
So
Right. And even in that experience, it's like, oh, I can maybe give myself grace, because this other person who I see is like this incredible woman, and she's really kind and awesome, and she shares these insights and she struggles with it too, then maybe it doesn't mean there's something wrong with me. Maybe I do deserve a little grace. Maybe it doesn't make me unworthy. And there's something that's so much more powerful in that experience than anything I could ever say, which is, so many people experience this and you're not the only one. And you'll hear it and be like, yeah, whatever, Adia.
you're being nice.
Exactly. But when someone is sharing their story, and it's not for your own purposes, but it's just for them to share and process, and you resonate, it's like, oh, okay, right? And you feel yourself offering compassion and empathy to them. It's like, maybe I deserve a little bit of that too. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, I was so grateful to have you as part of the group. So I so appreciate you being part of the group, showing up and sharing yourself. I'm so glad that you got a lot out of the program. And thank you for sharing your story and your experience.
And I will just end it with saying thank you. And to me, it's the best investment one can make in themselves. So do it. Don't let finances hamper you, because we spend money anyway. It's the best investment in yourself.
Thank you, Toni.
I sincerely hope that hearing from these 3 past group coaching members of mine helps you to understand some of the nuances of both the experience that you get when you're in the Unconditionally Worthy program, as well as how it helps to shift your life. It's really about an all-encompassing experience. It's not just about the content that I offer, which I think is pretty great. It's also about how you experience the program and how you come away with tools that benefit you for the rest of your life. So if you are interested in learning more about the program and potentially joining, I encourage you to go to com/program. That is the page where you're going to be able to find out all the information about the program, read more testimonials, watch more testimonials, and really learn about it. Applications for the Unconditionally Worthy Group Coaching Program are open now. And this program is for high achieving professional BIPOC women of color who are ready to claim their worth outside of the hustle. You have already done some therapy or coaching or some self-work, right? You already have sort of a baseline of doing self-work, I think is what I'm trying to say. But you're ready to go deeper. You want to dig deeper into this, and you want a structured, supportive space. You want community to help you do this. So this curriculum-based program guides you step by step in the process of embracing your unconditional self-worth. And it also provides a supportive, encouraging, connected space that is nourishing and helps you to grow. The next cohort begins the week of September 25th, and there are only 10 spots available. So be sure to apply now. Again, you can go to unconditionallyworthy.com/program to apply and learn more. And if you are interested in the program, but you're not sure if it's the right fit for you, you have some questions, I am here for you. So you can feel free to send me an email at info@dradiagooden.com or send me a DM on Instagram. I'm at Dr. Adia Gooden, or you could send me a message on LinkedIn. Again, Dr. Adia Gooden. I know that this is a big decision, right? To enroll in such a program. So check out the website and then also reach out and message me if you have questions. Okay. Hope to see your application. Until next time.